Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you again for joining us tonight for the regular meeting of the Mayor and Board of Trustees. Today is February 8th. Our first order of business, of course, is our Pledge of Allegiance. And tonight we are joined by a young girl from Burr Ridge who actually attends St. Isaac Joe's School. Actually, that's where I've been going to church for the last 20 plus years. Elle Carl is her name. She's a member of the Brownie Troop at St. Isaac's and participates in the children's choir, which sings at the school masses. Her favorite subjects are writing and math. Elle is on the Westmont swim team and received the MVP award for her swim team last summer. She plays tennis at 5 Seasons. I'm familiar with that one. My daughter did too. A lot of common ground here, Elle, and plus Bob also plays golf at the Edgewood Valley Country Club. Elle loves music. She takes piano, guitar, and voice lessons. She was honored to receive the Christian Service Award from her classmates. She has traveled quite a bit this year out east to watch her brother play hockey for John Carroll University. And she feels lucky to also have her grandparents here. And I also met her aunts here all from Burr Ridge. And tonight we're going to ask Elle to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Elle, please come up front.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thank you again, Elle. Nice job. Okay, Karen, may I have a roll call, please?
Trustee Francis.
Here.
Trustee Grasso. Trustee Paveza.
Here.
Trustee Bolas.
Here.
Trustee Murphy.
Here.
Trustee Schiappa.
Here.
Mayor Straub.
Here. Now is the time for the residents' comments. Any residents would like to address the board this time? There you go.
Sure. My name is Tom Schneider. I'm the superintendent at Burr Ridge School District 180. Our school district has 2 schools, A&M Jeans Elementary School and Burr Ridge Middle School. Today, during the public participation segment of your meeting, I would like to address comments that were made on January 25th, as there were several unfortunate and inaccurate comments made by a Burr Ridge resident, and in an effort to help village officials be better equipped to respond to such comments, I would like to once again invite all the members of the village board to visit our schools, to see in person the many outstanding educational programs we have in place, as well as meet our truly wonderful students and parents. This is a standing offer. It's made to any village resident and any member of the board who's interested in becoming better informed about our schools in Burr Ridge. It is my goal tonight to have members of the board, including yourself, Mr. Mayor, join in our efforts to have a better understanding of what our schools offer our students and residents of Burr Ridge, and to make sure that the representatives of the village board and yourself, Mr. Mayor, can comment in an educated way to some of the comments that are made at board meetings. I believe that if you had a chance to meet our students and observe our teachers in action, you would be much better prepared to respond to the comments that were made on January 25th. I believe you need to have a more accurate understanding of our outstanding students and schools. One of the most glaring inaccuracies of the speaker on January 25th was in regards to taxis dropping off students at Burr Ridge Middle School. The school district employs taxis to transport students who were at one time legally enrolled in our district, but now are homeless. Students may become homeless for a variety of reasons. For our students, it's due to a loss of employment of one of their parents, the death of one of their parents, and the terminal illness of one of the parents, resulting in medical expenses, which has resulted in homelessness. Our district utilizes the taxis as it's the most economic way to comply with the McKinley-Vento Homeless Assistance Act, and that's the law of the land. To satisfy the requirements of this law and meet the needs of our students, our district does use 4 taxis. We transport students between Burr Ridge Middle School and the following locations: Shorewood, Oak Brook Terrace, Maywood, and Justice. I can confidently assure the board and members of the Burr Ridge community that the students we are transporting are not, as the speaker at your meeting stated, bringing drugs and gang affiliations to our schools. In fact, in my 8 years of service as the superintendent of Burr Ridge School District 180, I have not had one single incident of a student bringing illegal drugs to our building. Further, the accusation that there is a gang element or violence in our schools is clearly refuted by the fact that in those 8 years as superintendent, our district has not expelled one single student for violent or gang conduct. Additional evidence as to the safety of our schools can be found in the infrequency of police calls to our building. I can think of only 3 incidents in the past 8 years where the district found the need to even request police intervention. Given this complete lack of evidence to any of the claims made by the speaker on January 25th, it is quite logical for an observer to assume that the speaker may have racially motivated reasons for making such claims at a public meeting. Unfortunately, some may see your response, Mr. Mayor, some may see your response to those comments as being receptive to such claims, as opposed to reflecting the need to become better informed on these issues. I hope that you and the rest of the board will join me in efforts to better inform the students of Burr Ridge, as I would hate to see the many hours of effort that you and this board have put in to highlight the many positive aspects of Burr Ridge be overshadowed by the potentially racially motivated comments of a misinformed resident. I'd like to add to these remarks, as it is the beginning of Black History Month, and just following the celebration of Martin Luther King Day, a quote from Dr. King. Dr. King said, "People fail to get along because they fear each other. They fear each other because they don't know each other. They don't know each other because they have not communicated with each other." Our schools in the village of Burr Ridge provide the means by which our communities, our residents, our families, and our children can bring about Dr. King's vision that one day little black boys and girls will be holding hands with little white boys and girls. As I prepared these remarks on Friday, I found out that one of our students, one of our Burr Ridge Middle School students, Mike Smith, was named the Chicago Tribune, WGN Channel 9 Athlete of the Month. He's recognized as the Athlete of the Month not just because of his
Excuse me, Tom, I'm sorry, there's a 5-minute limit.
I'll be almost done in a
I
minute.
just
Thank
want
you. I'm almost done,
Just
I
so you're
promise.
aware of that, you need to
I've got
wrap it up.
two more seconds, I swear.
Okay, great, thanks.
But I just want to tell you about Michael Smith because he's important. He's a resident of Burr Ridge. He's the Chicago Tribune Athlete of the Month. And he goes to Fenwick, one of the basketball powerhouses in the state. But here's the amazing thing about Michael, besides the fact he's an excellent man of character. He's choosing between several schools to go to. All of them are in the Ivy League. He scored a 30 on his ACT. He's a graduate of Burr Ridge Middle School. Perhaps if you did a little research on Michael Smith, you'd find out about Nick Rakovic, who's also an outstanding basketball player, having his choice of Big Ten schools to go to. He's also a Burr Ridge Middle School graduate. Unfortunately, you only write about our athletes, so you don't get a total picture of how well our students perform. But I do want to talk about one last student, Robert Hall. Robert Hall plays football at Hinsdale South. He's a talented athlete, but not as gifted as the other students that I've just told you about. But he is going to play on scholarship at Winona University. But here's the quote. I love my kids. I'm going to tell you, they're great kids, and I think the world of them, and I have nothing but respect for our families and our students. So you think perhaps I'm a biased observer in this. But I want to tell you a quote here that was in the Doings paper about Robert Hall, one of our graduates, from the head coach of Hinsdale South. This is from the head coach of Hinsdale South, who described one of our graduates from Burr Ridge Middle School. He says, he's a leader. He's an AP student. He's just an unbelievable, great character human being. I can't say enough about him. He works his butt off. Hopefully, someday my sons will grow up to be just like him. He's just a great human being. Those are the students we have at Burr Ridge Middle School. Those are the students that we graduate. And those are the students I hope your comments will reflect should you be questioned about the quality of our schools. My standing offers to you for a tour is always there. At the end of this, I do have a copy of my letter, which I'm sending, as well as my business card, which I'll distribute at the end of the meeting. So hopefully you will take me up on this offer so you are better prepared to respond to comments from Burr Ridge residents. And I thank you for your time.
Thanks, Tom. Trustee Brenzies.
Thank you for your comments, enlightening the residents, the board, and the village president on the great service that you and your staff and your teachers provide to the students of our community. Thank you.
And if I may, I must commend District 180 for the work they do with their students. I know how hard it is. You have a definite amount of tax dollars and have to allocate it among your student body, and congratulations on the work you do there.
Any other resident comments?
Hi, everyone. I'm Paula DuPont. I live over at 8810 South Branch. I wrote this in letter form, so I also have copies to distribute at the close of my talk. But I've sent some things this way in the past, and they seem to sometimes go into a black hole. So I wanted to come and go ahead and speak to you in person about this, because I'm really bothered. Dear Mayor Straub, the other day I had the chance to view the public comments of John Bittner during the January 25th village meeting. During that meeting, you indicated that you were planning to chat with him offline. I thought that you and the entire board might be interested in both the facts in the case and the perspective of another resident. While my position as Burr Ridge CCSD 180 school board president does give me access to some information that others may not have, tonight my thoughts are primarily reflective of my role as both a resident and a taxpayer. So first, the facts. Tom went over the specifics. He's got the link to the school code that says we need to be doing what we're doing. But, you know, we aren't hiding anything. And I can say confidently that the students we do transport are some of the most receptive of all of our children. While their family circumstances may be complicated, they are not circumstances the kids have created themselves. And we are helping to break the cycle by offering them a good education. So now my take on this. Just a little bit of background about me. I've been in the district, lived here for 22 years in the same home. Our two daughters attended both Ann M. Jeans and Burr Ridge Middle School from kindergarten through 8th grade. They received an excellent education. They were challenged academically. They had the opportunity to participate in a vast array of extracurricular activities. And they went on to excel at Hinsdale South, where they were both presidents of the student council. They excelled in all AP classes. They were both a drum major, and they participated in a host of extracurriculars, including sports year-round. In other words, they were very well prepared. Today, they're both down at the U of I in Champaign. One is studying bioengineering, the other studying psychology and chemistry. The reality is, the population in my school district doesn't look like me. It doesn't look like Mr. Bittner's school, Gower. In fact, it doesn't look like any nearby schools. But to perpetuate this myth that we are troubled by gangs, violence, and drugs is both inaccurate and completely offensive. As a longtime resident, I have fought this at every juncture. It starts with the realtors. It continues into playgroup, at the park district classes we take, in playground conversations, and of course continues at the neighborhood cocktail parties. Mr. Bittner's insinuations aren't the first, and they won't be the last. But the problem is that someone's suggestion or concern becomes a truth, quickly accepted by people who look at the surface and in their very limited view decide that it must be accurate. It isn't. While our scores are not Gowers or Pleasantdales, we've demonstrated hard-earned growth. We are making progress. Our kids go on to greater successes than they would without us. And as a resident and a taxpayer, I'm proud of that. So here's the bottom line, though, and here's where it gets really tricky for me. At the end of the day, there's no amount of academic excellence or participation in sports that compensates for every parent's real concern: safety. So what bothers me most is that those who spread these falsehoods and help others spread the falsehoods are in essence saying that I, as a parent, don't care about my child's safety. They don't state it directly, but the inference is that I knowingly send them to a gang-infested, drug-ridden school where they're fearful every day. That's false. They're wrong, and it's deeply offensive. You visited, Mr. Mayor. You also, Mr. Schiappa. And during those visits, you had nothing but positive words about the behavior of our students and the work being done. Do you feel differently today? We encourage you all to come. You'll find a small, safe school where our students are thriving, making strides both academically and socially. It just won't look like the one your kids went to. Please partner with us to share the good news and stop the spread of lies. As a community, we are in this together. And as its leader, Mr. Mayor, it's your job. Thanks.
Thank you, Paula. Anyone else like to address the board at this time? Okay. And on that note, and by the way, that's as Tom mentioned before, and of course Paula, this is certainly a huge topic. It requires a lot of, I think, research and looking more deeply into rather than just over a meeting. I certainly welcome that opportunity, and certainly we talk to the board members in the future about that. That's whatever affects any school in the village affects everybody, and certainly would like to make sure that certainly the accuracies, that what's being stated is as accurate as possible, and I certainly welcome any counter comment that you had tonight. So, moving on to the consent agenda. All items listed with an asterisk are considered to be routine by the village board and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a board member or citizen so requests, in which event the item will be removed. Under minutes, we have 5A, approval of regular board meeting of January 25th, 2016. We have 5B, approval of budget workshop of January 25th, 2016. 5C, receive and file Veterans Memorial Committee meeting of October 28th, 2015. Nothing under ordinances. And under resolutions, the adoption of resolution approving the zoning map. Under considerations, we have 8B, approval of recommendation to approve agreement regulating video surveillance cameras for the neighborhood video surveillance program at Chestnut Hill subdivision. 8C, approval of recommendation to approve agreement regulating video surveillance cameras for the neighborhood video surveillance program at Madison Club subdivision. 8D, approval of request for raffle license for the West Suburban Symphony Society and hosting facility license for the Marriott Hotel Burr Ridge for the Society's fundraising dinner dance on March 12th, 2016. 8E, approval of vendor list in the amount of $179,059.34 for all funds, plus $235,765.20 for payroll, for a grand total of $414,824.54, which includes a special expenditure of $43,057 to Tri-State Fire Protection District out of the E911 fund as reimbursement for the district's purchase of mobile computers. May I have a motion to approve the following items on the consent agenda? Minutes 5A, B, and C. Resolution 7A, considerations. That's 8B, C, D, and E. May I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Francis?
Yes.
Trustee Pavesa?
Yes.
Trustee Bolus?
Yes.
Trustee Murphy?
Yes.
Trustee Schiappa?
Yes.
5-0.
All items are approved. We move to considerations presentation regarding the Burr Ridge mobile app. Steve?
I'm going to call on Jerry. Which button do I push again? This one here. Sorry.
Oh,
Okay.
good evening. We have an app.
Change
Want to go over the app? Past year, the village has completed a full redesign of the village's website. Part of that redesign effort was to take advantage of current mobile-friendly technologies. We built the website in-house without any consulting services, and it was rolled out last April 2015. So the past year, we have been developing a new mobile app, and app was also developed in-house without any consulting services, and the app now is ready for distribution. So this is the Village of Burr Ridge mobile app. It's designed around providing the village of Burr Ridge information at your fingertips with the convenience of your smartphone or tablet. Provides residents and businesses and visitors with quick and accessible information. Currently, we started the app with 20 features divided into 5 different areas. We have businesses at the top of the row, local happenings on the second row. On the third row, public entities, then services, and then at the bottom, our social media site. I have about 20 screen prints here, so I'll kind of rifle through them pretty quick. First row here highlights our Village of Burr Ridge residents. We have these 3 sites here. Those are existing sites. Let me get back here. Yeah. Burr Ridge Restaurant, BurRidgeRestaurants.com, BurRidgeHotels.com, and the Village Shopping Center. So we put it inside. We just hooked up to those sites into our app and put it into kind of a mobile-friendly look. So there's the hotels and Burr Ridge Village Center. Also, we put out there on the mobile app a listing by alphabetical order of our 500 and some businesses in Burr Ridge. So if you're not a restaurant, hotel, or shopping center, you have a presence there. You can learn a little bit about the Burr Ridge businesses. Second row highlights local happenings in Burr Ridge. First feature here are the events. You can also drill down into various events and learn more about them. We'll be putting our concert set schedule out online here coming up this summer. We put a mobile-friendly calendar with items going on at Burr Ridge. You can click the plus button here and then add it to your personal calendar if you like. And if you're a visitor and you don't know where Burr Ridge is, we do have a map here. Click the little direction icon and do a turn-by-turn instructions from your location to Burr Ridge. Third row here, public entities. Once again, we hooked up our mobile-friendly Burr Ridge site to the mobile app. We put a listing of all our village facilities here, contact information, how to get a hold of the police department for non-emergencies, public works, their hours, have a call button here, map it, you can email it. Burr Ridge Park Districts, we put the 2 park districts here. Feature throughout the app, if you see these blue highlighted areas, those are quick links. Any one of those you can click and it'll open up an additional feature. I'll use the parks as an example. If you click that boundary map, it'll open up a map of Burr Ridge and their boundaries. If you want to call them, you just click the phone number there. It'll dial it on your cell phone. And if you want to go to the website, you just click the website. We've put that throughout the app. Whenever you see the blue highlights, those are hyperlinks. School districts, once again with the blue links here, phone numbers, websites, boundary maps.
Jerry, I think you're about to be have your microphone replaced. The other one seems to be going in and out.
Thank you, Karen. Back here. So back to schools, all our public grade schools and our public high schools listed. Down to the service area, put out some popular features. Our document center on our village website is very popular, so we put a mobile-friendly version of that out on our app that lists all of the documents you can get access to, memos, agendas, annual reports, board meeting packets. Another popular feature is our water customer portal. This is a mobile-friendly version of the portal. That's where water customers can log in and look up their accounts, look up their water bills, water consumption, pay bills online. We put that inside the app. The front office gets a lot of calls about scavenger services. You know, who are they? Where do we call? How do we get a hold of them? So we put their services out on the website. And also healthcare in the Burridge and surrounding area with Loyola featured up here at the top with their phone number and their website. And finally, the last row are all of our social media sites. Facebook, our YouTube channel, very popular. We got like somewhere about almost 4,000 views on there right now. We live stream our board meetings, our cable access channel. We have an inventory of past board meetings. So if you want, you can live stream the board meetings on your cell phone. If you're a Twitter user, we put our Twitter feed, hook that up to our mobile app, and our Instagram account. That's more just pictures throughout the village of special events, concerts. So as I mentioned, no consulting services to build or maintain the Burridge app.
Jerry, I'd just like to stop for a second. That's impressive.
Pardon?
That is very impressive, what you've been able to put together. I know a little bit about the computer world and apps, and that is one very comprehensive system with that I'm shocked at how much you're able to get in that app. Congratulations.
Thank you. So ongoing enhancements and updates, no consulting services. We do pay an annual subscription to keep the app up to date with updates and edits, new features, analytics, being able to deploy it out to the app stores, Apple and Android, be able to track the users and returning users and push notifications, and I'll just speak about that in just a moment. Just a quick peek underneath the hood, the dashboard. This is what our subscription gives us, and that's just subscriptions about $600 a year, far less than consulting services. This is where we can edit the app. If people want feature requests, we can add it back to that. Analytics, this is to kind of see how our site's doing, what's popular, what's not. Do we need to get rid of a feature? Is there any other feature that's not doing so well, and why? This is where we can submit it out to the Android and Apple stores. And down here, app status, we have 0 right now because we don't have it out at the App Store. And also returning users. Returning users is if you install the app, how many times have you gone back and used it? So it keeps a click on how many times people use that app. And push notifications. Push notifications are, you probably get them all the time on your smartphone, but they're just sending users messages and updates, even if you don't have the app open. They're unlimited and flexible. We can use them for a variety of information. And it's just another avenue to communicate with residents and businesses and the public. So push notification pops up. It can be used, like I said, for a variety of sources. you want to inform your users that you have a new update, update your app. Maybe things are going on in the village that week you want people to know about. You can send a push notification out to them, or upcoming events in the future. The events committee was pretty interested in this type of technology, just because they have a lot of people calling the village hall and wondering if you're going to have a rain delay for a concert, and there's a bit of lag of information. With push notifications, you can do instant notifications on the status of the concert. You may give them, it looks like rain tonight, we'll check back with you at 5:30, we'll send you another message, or, give you a green light, or it's red light, if the concert's a go or not. So just a nice little communication tool with push notifications. So just another new source of information, village information, quick and convenient for your mobile devices, iPhones, iPads, Android phones, and tablets. It's available for distribution and download at the Apple and Android stores this month. And we'll just use a variety of our sources to get the word out about our new app via the website, other village communications. Be happy to answer any questions.
Trustees, have any questions of Jerry?
Great job. Nice work.
Questions?
I don't have a
comments?
question, but as the mayor said, it's quite impressive. And just hope it works good.
We'll hear about it if it doesn't. Yeah.
So you can watch a board meeting from your mobile phone. That's,
Yes, yes. We have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/brvillage, and we live stream our cable channels on there, which are board meetings, our bulletin board system, and then past board meetings, so. It's been out there for a while, and it's very popular. Like I said, I think it's like 3,500 views in the past year. So a lot of people are looking at a lot of meetings online.
So basically everything that your computer can do from a handheld device. So.
Yeah. I mean, people have a tendency to carry around these mobile devices a lot more than a laptop these days. Always instant access to your cell phone, to your iPad, to your tablets. Yeah.
And the web program or the application that you have to use is $600 a year?
Pardon?
The program is an annual fee of just $600 a year to house it, to maintain your dashboard? And things
Yes, yeah. That's the tool to, if you didn't have that, you'd have to have some sort of service to update it. But now with the subscription basis and the dashboard, we can update it in-house. Like I said, people say, well, why don't you have that on your app? And then we can put that on our app.
Right,
Can't
so
be all things to all people, but.
So it's a fluid program.
Yes.
As we grow, as new information gets out there where people will want access to it, we can adjust the app to accommodate that.
And once again, how can the residents download that to their phone? Where do they have to go?
This month, and probably in about 2 weeks, we will put it out there at the Apple stores and the Android stores. And we'll put out links for everybody so they can find it quickly. But you can go to those app stores and do a search for Village of Burt Ridge, and the app will come up, and you can install it on your phone, just like you do any other app, off the app stores.
And the app will be free to.
Free. Yeah.
Trustee Francis?
Yes, thank you. Well, the website redesign was a huge success. I'm sure that this will be another huge success also. Thank you, Jerry, for you and your coworkers and your staff for the hard work that you put in to develop this app to serve the village residents.
Great, thank you. And Trustee Schiappa?
Chair, do you have an idea of how much this would have cost us if we would have had to?
Yeah, typically in the old days where you didn't have a lot of do-it-yourself tools like the app, a website probably would cost you $20,000 to $30,000. Maybe an app, $5,000 to $10,000, depending on what you wanted to do. Those days are getting fewer and far between for consultants.
Yeah.
You have these, like I said, these do-it-yourself tools, and it's a lot more affordable to learn it and do it yourself and only pay a subscription basis instead of those big consulting dollars up front.
It's a great job.
So once again, as Jerry is not only our finance director, he's also our technology guru in-house. And we appreciate all your efforts. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. Under other considerations, for announcement, deliberation, and or discussion. Anyone have anything to add?
I have a comment. I just want to once again thank Superintendent Schneider and Mrs. DuPont for attending this evening and educating the board and the public about the good things happening in the district. The education of our children is extremely important, and I'm proud that District 180 is doing such a wonderful job. And I encourage everyone to take them up on their offer and visit the district. Visit the school, see firsthand what a positive learning environment that they have created for each and every student that walks through their front door. Thank you.
Okay. We're back to the residents' comments. Any other residents having new business to discuss? Okay, seeing no one. We are at the reports and communications from village officials. Any other reports or any communication from village officials? I have two things just to mention. In the last couple of weeks, I had the pleasure of joining our chief at a couple presentations where he met with different homeowner association presidents, one particular board at Fieldstone, and he's in the process of assembling a list of crime prevention tips. Is one of the things that to get some things, kind of blast some of the myths out there, about how to handle certain situations, and other tips that he has. That'll be coming your way. Also, I was able to attend, along with Steve Stricker and Doug Pollack and Dave Preissig, as well as Matt Russian, a meeting with the Illinois Tollway. They are doing all kinds of a huge plan of updating and perhaps looking at different exits and things on what they call the Tri-State Central portion of the tollway. It ranges from Balmoral Avenue down 95th Street. We had a consultant come here to discuss, kind of give us a preview of what is coming, as well as to get the village's suggestions and concerns, since the tollway, as you know, borders Burr Ridge from 55th Street all the way down to I-55 and a little further south. It affects us immensely, as well as any potential for any reworking of that interchange, which would affect us. I don't think it's in this master plan, but certainly would affect us directly. But we appreciate them coming here, and as we get more information, we'll also provide that to the residents. So we are now on the last category, last section for the non-residents' comments. Are there any non-residents in the meeting tonight that would like to address the board? Dolores?
Good evening. My name is Dolores Cizik, former trustee and former resident. I have a number of things that I'd like to bring to the attention of the board this evening. First of all, I apologize for the mistake that I made at the last board meeting pertaining to the contribution to the fire district. I was not aware that the village was collecting this on behalf of the utility. However, I would like to point out that retail businesses collecting sales tax, when that sales tax is paid on time, they are entitled to a discount. I would think that the village also would fit that circumstance when you're remitting to the fire districts, that you would be entitled to a rebate. That's what it amounts to. Secondly, I'm not going to get into this controversy concerning the schools. However, later on I'll have something to say about the high schools, but I do recall in the election of 2013, Mr. Staub said that he could fix the problems in School District 180. Apparently, he did not have an understanding that the municipality has no control over school districts. Now, prior to the meeting, I gave each person several pieces of information. First of all, I thought this diagram that ran in today's Tribune about lead in the water, and everybody must know about the lead in Flint, Michigan, and now Chicago may have lead in their pipes. So this is a very urgent problem, and I'm suggesting that the village be proactive, not reactive. I thought this diagram was very helpful for a consumer to be able to identify if they have lead pipes. When we were on County Line, we built our house in 1959, and we always had well water. We had a lot of iron in the water. We never drank the water. We had Hinckley and Schmidt. And my husband, he didn't object to the iron taste. I didn't like it. But it did certainly affect the fixtures. I think that, oh yes, the Tribune article also pointed out that in Chicago, I'm not speaking for the suburbs, but in Chicago, homes built prior to 1986 probably have lead pipes, lead in the pipes. And we have many homes in this village built prior to 1986. So that's why I'm suggesting that the village act on this quickly. Okay. Years ago, Purdy McCulloch came up with the slogan for this village, a very special place. Well, I've been looking for all the special places in this village, and what I see is an awful lot of conspicuous consumption. There is no culture. There is no culture in this village other than the Flag Creek Historical Society. Now, over 5 years ago, there was a resident, his name is Nick Mason, who brought this to the attention of the board. I don't know if he brought it to the attention of the board. There was an article in the newspaper. There are so many things that the village could be doing. At the December meeting, Mr. Stricker said that there was, I believe, $215,000 in the hotel motel tax fund. Well, here's an article on the conductor of a symphony. This ran in the Tribune at the end of December. This symphony is in Lake Forest. Lake Forest has a symphony orchestra. Western Springs has a live theater. It's in its 87th year, which is almost 9 decades. They have a children's theater in conjunction with that. Our daughter, who is now in her 50s, she was a student at the Theater of Western Springs when she was in middle school, called junior high then. It seemed to me it would have been a whole lot better if that $2 million that the Burr Ridge Village Center is going to do would be much better spent in other ways. The Hinsdale Community House is kicking off their 75th anniversary. This village incorporated in 1956, so it will be 60 years this October that it incorporated. But where is the culture?
Dolores, your 5 minutes is up, but if you want to, you have a wrap up here, or
the lady who
topics you want to talk?
spoke before about the schools, I'm sure she talked more than 5 minutes. I'm sure that the superintendent of School District 180 talked more than 5 minutes, and you don't even know if he's a resident. Why was he permitted to speak in the resident portion of the meeting instead of the non-resident?
You're wasting time.
In any event, Glencoe Theater is building a building for playwrights, for writers. Now, I will just roughly bring you up to date. I picked this up after the last board meeting. This came out from Patch, I believe. That Burr Ridge ranked #1 in the Chicago suburbs. And one of the things they pointed out were the schools. But if you look at the material that I gave you tonight, Let me just review the 3 high schools. That's all I have information on. I don't have anything on the elementary schools. This ran in the Tribune October 30th. I don't know where Patch got their information, but this information came from the Illinois State Board of Education. These are high schools. Hinsdale Central is 6th. Lyons Township is 24th. Hinsdale South is 62nd. So these are some things for you to ponder, especially the water problem, especially using some of that tourism hotel motel tax fund to initiate not only a small number screen theater, 4 or 5 screens, but live workshop theater, which was what Nick Mason had proposed 5 years ago. What happened to that idea? You folks think about it. Where is the culture in this village, which is almost 60 years old? All I hear you talk about is business. There's no culture. Thank you.
Thank you, Dolores. Any other non-residents like to address the board? Okay, on that note, we are going to be moving into closed session, at which time I'll have to ask everyone who's on the board to depart. But to get there, I need a motion to go into closed session.
So moved.
Second.
What purpose?
I guess technically.
It's right on your screen. Look in front of you.
There we go. Okay. The following, all 5 lists I'm going to be reading out loud. Approval of closed session minutes of September 14th, 2015. Determination to release closed session minutes through December 2015. C, determination to destroy verbatim recordings of closed session minutes for the period of October 2013 through July 2014. D is employment of employee, and last but not least, deliberation of salary schedules and benefits for 1 or more classes of employees.
I'll second the motion.
Motion's been second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Francis?
Yes.
Trustee Pavesa?
Yes.
Trustee Bolus?
Yes.
Trustee Murphy?
Yes.
Trustee Skiappa?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0. The meeting is now in closed session.